Hey, buddy. How y'all doing? All right. So, no, I'm not going to do it. But guess what happened to me? So I was using my Navage the other day. It had been a while because I hadn't had it. This bitch kicked me out of her house, and she's ruined my life, too. She stole my passwords to all my accounts and changed. Oh, anyway, I get off topic. I digress. As soon as I used it, started using it, the little reservoir at the bottom, it sucks out your nose, just red. Red, red, red. Just started bleeding blood crazy. And yeah. You hear that? That's my nose decompressing because my nose is always like this. It's crazy. Yep, yep, yep. Hey, is it AIDS?
All right, everyone. I'm still at work for another 10 minutes, but I started early and I skipped lunch for those who are listening who care about such things. So we'll get started hopefully around right at 3:30 because we're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Scott isn't here yet. So I'll put something on that you might enjoy.
You're listening to Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve on the Riotcast Network, riotcast.com.
Weird Medicine contains mature content and may be offensive to some listeners.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out, blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in a tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve! Take a cow for to the vertebrae. I need some suction in the carotid. I bring the crash car and do the kung fu with the shot pack.
From Nashville, Tennessee, where Damn Yankees is not a musical, it's a way of life. It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of radio, now a podcast. That was Brian's line, by the way. That wasn't that bad.
Thanks, Todd.
Don't worry about it, Brian. When Todd emailed me once and said, "Oh, I've got a great idea to introduce me on the show," it was like, "Oh, we will do that."
That's right. That's right.
I have with me in the studio P.A. John. Hello, John.
Hello, Steve.
Brian from the Radio Freaks, a.k.a. Woodfloor Liquor, a.k.a. the host of the Radio Freaks.
AKA nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, that's true. You took my line from me, my friend. We have GVAC, a.k.a. the man with titanium turds.
Good afternoon, everybody.
We have Double Vasectomy Todd, a.k.a. Fecalicious, a.k.a. Addictomy Todd, the man with multiple penis tattoos on his arm.
And too many nicknames.
We have Jefferson, a.k.a. the Shyster. And Ashley.
Hey, guys.
This is a show for people who would never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you just can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347
Poohhead.
If you're listening to us live, the number is 754-227-3647. That's 754
Double deuce penis.
or 754 Bear Nip, which is my favorite. B-A-R, right, not like the nipple of a grizzly bear. It's B-A-R-E. If you thought it was B-E-A-R, I don't know what to say to
Kind
you.
of ruins my fantasy.
You need to call in.
Yeah, Jefferson said if you think it's B-E-A-R, you need to call in. He's right.
That's right. Exactly right.
Follow our Twitter feed at Weird Medicine. Visit our website at weirdmedicine.com for podcast, medical news, and stuff you can buy, or go to our new merchandise store at riotcast.com and click Weird, or I don't know, click merchandise. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on the show without talking it over with your lawyer, doctor, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, pharmacist, master barber, EMT, dude that sells you used car parts, cosmetologist, or whatever. So I got it. Did I miss anybody?
I think you got everybody.
Okay, very good.
Stay-at-home stepmom.
Yeah, right. All right. Couple of things. Please, thank you to everyone. I have lots of thank yous to give out to our listeners. All right? And don't skip ahead. You don't want to miss this part, although I will throw the ad for Amazon in there, too. I really want to thank our listeners for helping out our friend XM Jim. As you know, XM Jim was the guy that was a listener to this show, and we just kind of tweeted back and forth. And he developed pancreatic cancer and lost his job, even though he had insurance. But insurance doesn't pay for your lost wages when you're out for 8 weeks getting chemotherapy and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he lost his job. They were destitute. His wife had to quit her job for another reason, and they were gonna lose everything. Our listeners ponied up enough to pay for his mortgage for the month of December, and also on December 24th, he got a FedEx envelope from us with another $500-600 in it to buy Christmas presents for his kids, because they were not going to have Christmas this year. Wow. And he sent me a picture of all the presents that they bought, and just, he was just so like, I'll never forget you guys. Thank you so much. My kid, he's got 2 kids under the age of 4 and 1 special needs. Wow. It was wow. So you guys out there really came through for them. Now, the tragic part of this is he had a great holiday with his family, and it looked like he might even be cured, or at least have a chance at a cure and get back on their feet after the first of the year. And then right around the new year, he had a massive heart attack and died. Now, he told me that the cancer was never going to get him. He was confident of that, and he was right. Yep. But it was sudden, totally unexpected, and again, his family is destitute, and his wife didn't have enough money to even, put him in the ground. So I am coming to you guys one last time for XM Jim, and Rich Voss donated a very large donation, very generous donation, and retweeted it. And we got a bunch of people that, after I put out that Jim had died and that his family was still needing some help, we got a ton of responses to that. Now, this is after all of our listeners have been through the holidays, whether it be Hanukkah, whether it be Christmas or winter solstice or Kwanzaa. They still, after all of that, came through for these guys. Mm-hmm. So we've paid for we've got up to about 50% of where they need to be. So if
I was going to say, how old was Jim?
He was 40-something, 30, late 30s, early 40s. So, and he was a truck driver, and he didn't have life insurance, and, it's just, it's rough.
That's
so,
sad.
Whatever we can do to help them. And even if you can't, if you've already done more than you can do, thank you. And his family really, really appreciates it. Our listeners, not this show, we were just the conduit, but our listeners changed the life of, a family who really needed help this year, and I, for one, really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So the other thing that our listeners did, which was awesome, was to go to our Amazon link. Commercialism rears its ugly head at all times, but they really supported us over the holidays, and it showed the broker that our listeners will, pay attention to advertising, and so we now, starting pretty soon, are going to have an actual sponsor for the show, which is very cool.
Wow! Yeah,
and that's coming down the pike. The funny thing is, the guy that is doing this actually went to SiriusXM and said, "Can I advertise on Weird Medicine?" And they quoted him this exorbitant number to the point where he just went to Riotcast and said, "Can I just do it on your show instead?" Mm-hmm. So SiriusXM could have had the money, but we'll be more than happy to take it, because if somebody advertised on our show on SiriusXM, we get nothing. So, at least this way we'll get a little bit. So And I'll give all y'all a taste. I appreciate all your efforts. So, but a great way to help support Riotcast and Weird Medicine, if you're going to buy something online, just go to Amazon.com. But before you do that, go to riotcast.com/weirdmedicine and then click on the link that says Amazon and just bookmark it. And then anytime you buy something from Amazon, if you don't mind, use that link, and it will help keep Riotcast on the air, and it will help keep Weird Medicine on the air. The other thing is right next to it is a link for GameFly. Now look, we're after the holidays. Everybody got their Xbox 360s and their Wii U's, or what's the new Wii thing? Wii U? Yeah. Who's on first? I don't know. But they all got their Wii U's and all the new video game stuff. And the stupid video games are freaking expensive. Yeah, so if you have a video game console and do not have a GameFly unit, I don't know what to say to you. You're a dope. Yep. So you have to have a GameFly account. And I'm going to go trade it in, which you never do, man.
And it was I was confused getting.
Our celebrity call screener was 20 minutes late.
I'm never late when I'm celebrity call screening.
That's right. So we've got Shuddy Boy from Mad Scientist Party Hour. How's it going, man?
And it was I was confused getting on, and I'm even 100% sober right now. So
well, you're better than most of us.
I'm glad I decided not to start drinking at 1 in the afternoon today.
Yeah, I decided not to drink today too, so I may give that up here in a little bit. But yeah, so Shuddy Boy is the producer of Mad Scientist Party Hour, and Kevin told me to ask you about your sleep apnea because he said that you snore worse than anybody he's ever heard.
Yeah, Kevin likes to pick on me for that. I snore real bad.
What I want to know is, how does he know that?
Because we've been friends since we were 18. So,
and that
getting drunk at parties, passing out. When he comes back east, I basically live at his mom's house for a weekend.
So you two guys
spend a lot of time together.
Okay, a lot of time together spooning, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Kevin's little spoon, by the way.
Okay. So I don't know your situation. You've got kids, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
nice cover.
So you're sleeping, right? So yes, has your beard ever said that you stop breathing in the middle of the night?
Actually, yeah, I hear that I stop breathing.
Okay.
I don't know that I do. It doesn't usually wake me up.
You wouldn't know. That's the problem with sleep apnea. So what happens with sleep apnea is people stop breathing, and then their brain wakes them up just enough to get their breathing started back up again, and then falls back into a deeper sleep. And you never get a full night's sleep. And not only that, you're living for 8 hours a day in a low oxygen environment. It's just like going to the top of Mount Everest. And it's it can do.
Well, that sounds awesome.
It can do some really bad things to you over time. When you're young, you can get by all this stuff, but then 40 turns out to not be so young anymore when you've got a chronic medical problem, and the arteries in your lungs start to clamp down, and you get a thing called pulmonary hypertension, which is where the heart is beating against a higher pressure, and the heart starts to enlarge and stuff like that. So, bro, I'm begging you, just go get a sleep study, and if it's positive, you got to get something done about this, and it will be positive.
Is there anything other than wearing one of those silly masks that can be done?
There's all kinds of things. There's surgical solutions, which are sometimes effective. They have one where they move the back of the pharynx forward. The problem with that is it's not only painful, as you can imagine. It's like having the worst sore throat you ever had when they go back there cutting around. But also when you eat or drink soup and stuff, it's come out your nose because now there's a bigger space back there. So a lot of people are not big fans of that surgery. There's another one called posterior tongue ablation, where they can go in and they can actually remove part of the back part of the tongue, not the tasting part, just the muscular part, so that you don't, you're not occluding that airway anymore. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and there's appliances too. Some people sell an appliance that you just wear in your mouth. And besides the mask, my favorite thing is the nasal pillows. They come from the top of your head down, and they stick in your nose, and then it breathes through your nose like that. And so your face isn't covered and your mouth isn't covered. So, yes, there's lots of things that they can try.
My brother, who is a dentist, he makes a dental appliance that you can put in your mouth to help with sleep apnea.
Yeah, and it helps probably 20, 30% of people, but it's for that 20 or 30% of people, it's better than having the CPAP mask.
Yeah.
So, and I think Jim Norton's talked about it. He uses an appliance.
Is sleep apnea a relatively new phenomenon that you hear so much about it now, or is it just more known? And
it's very underdiagnosed. You know, my dad had it, but my mom would just elbow him in the ribs and get him to roll over in the middle of the night. That's how they dealt with it.
Right.
My dad snored so fucking bad that we had a 3-story house, and I was in the basement, and they were 2 stories above me, and he would wake me up in the middle of the night snoring.
Wow.
I spent my whole youth camping out with my dad and my uncles, dreaming that gorillas were chasing me. I was totally traumatized by these fuckers that just snored so bad, and that's why I won't go on camping trips now with other dudes, and I won't sleep in a room with a dude. Like if I have to go on a marketing trip with the hospital, they want you to share a room. It's like, I'll just pay for my own room because I was traumatized by other people snoring in the room.
Are humans the only animal that has this problem? Are we the only ones that can't sleep correctly? It's really weird.
Did you get that?
Can't sleep correctly. I mean, other animals snore.
Okay.
I've had dogs that snore.
Or from the email I sent you about the question about the
sleep apnea. I'm not aware of any. You know, we're the only ones
scintillating
that have
Cocomata?
Yeah,
I know about that, but no, I didn't. I
Little
didn't see the
machines
email.
that make us
Dude,
think
I've
it's
been in
raining
meetings
outside.
You want to talk about it? You can. I'll bring it up.
No.
We really are.
Compared to other
was the
animals,
one
we
from
are
last
just
week we didn't.
pathetic.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll just say, at the beginning, hey, we had a question from last
And
week.
other animals don't tend to eat
Okay.
until they're 3
Yeah.
times the size they're supposed to be. Isn't that a big thing?
We'll make
about
sure,
sleep apnea, too?
Yeah, how big are you, Shuddy Boy? I've never seen you, so I don't know if you're a big fatso.
Testes.
Brian from the Radio Freaks
I'm
or not.
5'8", about 205 pounds. I've got a little bit of a
Did you?
I'm not a
5'8".
Did you hear what I said? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
mean.
can't sleep correctly.
Hang on.
I mean, other animals snore.
I am the
I've had
biggest
dogs that
asshole.
snored.
Hang on.
And but as far as having sleep
Hang
apnea, and I'm not aware of any. You know, we're the only ones that have covers and
Yeah.
sheets and pillows and stuff.
Little
and so,
machines that make us think it's raining outside.
We're sad.
We're stupid. We really are.
Compared
soft.
to other animals, we are just pathetic.
Yeah,
Pussies.
we are.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's
anyway.
coming up right here somewhere.
And
So-
other animals don't tend to eat until they're 3 times the size they're supposed to be. Isn't that a big thing about sleep apnea too, and weight effect?
Yeah, how big are you, Shuddy Boy? I've never seen you, so I don't know if you're a big fatso like Brian from the Radio Freaks
I'm
or not.
5'8". That's
Just a big fatso like Brian from the Radio. What is this?
So
Terrible.
very nice.
And poor Brian.
That's not very nice at all.
No, it wasn't very nice. It's funny though. All right. You about ready?
Yeah, I'm just getting everything ready, but I'm close enough.
Hello, everyone.
Close enough.
I guess I should probably set us up to record.
Yes, that would be nice.
You see that sign? It says applesauce. You know what that's from?
No, I don't. Strangely enough.
Larry Sanders.
Oh.
Not that that necessarily makes it any clearer.
That makes it totally clear.
I have been in meetings all day today. Skipped lunch. Had to give a talk for a national conference by Zoom, thankfully. And so I am a mess today. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is working. My computer has been weird and slow. I'm going to close down everything except for.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's Zoom that's doing it. So let's get rid of that because we're not using it right now.
Let's see, we got Sean, we got Amanda.
Yep.
What's up? movie Messiah first.
Uh-oh. Someone's here, so it may be Lady Diagnosis. Hang on.
I don't see anybody.
You don't see anybody?
I don't even see a
You can see the
car
front
there.
door?
No.
Oh, no. I'm looking at the Blink video doorbell.
That's taking out all
Hey, hello. Get off of my property. Nope, must have been UPS.
Yeah, because I don't see any cars or anything. All right, let's do it. Movie Messiah, welcome, yes, welcome.
Well, I'm looking at the first floor.
If it's the movie Messiah, then we're...
Okay, now Tacey's sitting down there doing her... Yeah, so, okay. All right, don't know what that was. All right, let's get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. And it's going to be noisy because we've got the dang air conditioning on.
Thank God.
It's time for Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out, blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane.
It's Weird Medicine, the first and all. God damn it. You think I haven't been doing this for 17 years. Hang on. Idiot. It's not like I even need the script. It's just a security blanket. All right, let's try that again. Asshole. It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio and the longest-running show on this channel. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider. He gives me street cred with the wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
This is a show for people who had never listened to a medical show on the radio. If you got a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, or if you can't find an answer anywhere else, just give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. I can't mention contractually. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with the greatest salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking over with your doctor, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, pharmacist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, yoga master, physical therapist, or whatever. All right, very good. All right, Dr. Scott, don't forget Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net, simplyherbals.net. And I just heard that they put Joe Biden in the hospital.
Well, that's not good.
No, he couldn't stop Putin. Well, there you go. There you go, Dr. Scott.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That's what you call country humor there, Dr. Scott.
So you've been working on it all day.
Yeah, actually, my dyad partner told me that one today.
Couldn't stop Putin.
Couldn't stop Putin. That probably doesn't land in some places because I doubt everyone calls flatus with that eponym.
Yes, I agree.
Or, not eponym, that's not the word I'm looking for. Euphemism.
Okay.
You know?
I would say you're correct.
What is the euphemism? Ooh, let's do that as a radio bit. What's the euphemism for flatus in your area? Ugh.
A toot?
Yeah.
I think a toot.
Well, I'll tell you what. We talked about this in a recent show where my brother would hold me down, and that was nothing but farting in my face. There's no other word for it. He didn't toot. He didn't poot. He effing farted in my face. And it stunk so bad. And I do not understand this. It smells the same today. Oh, no, not 50. 60 years later.
Yep.
It smells the same.
Mm.
I can't believe Tacy couldn't remember that.
That is kind of bizarre.
She talked about that for years.
You'd think that'd be something she would remember.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you know.
I don't know. I don't know anything. It's obviously.
She's doing her best. God bless her.
All right, you got anything? Because we have a million phone calls that we got to get through today.
Yeah, I got a couple things. We'll go through.
People will be happy about that. Instead of us bullshitting, there will be lots of phone calls.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something about bullshit. I'm gonna talk about something serious here.
Okay.
We found this article the other day.
Yeah.
And it's a legitimate question.
Okay.
Childbirth or getting kicked in the balls, which hurts more?
Oh, childbirth. By far.
I would think so.
By far.
And
men can't even come close to understand
Except the problem is most men are just, and you know this as well as I do, when it comes to tolerating pain, men will tell you that getting kicked in the nuts
is the worst thing ever.
Oh, it's so painful.
And then my wife will say, just imagine shitting out a watermelon. But it goes on for 8 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours.
Or 24 hours, yep.
And there is a guy named Horace. We've had him on the show. I don't think you've ever been here when we had Horace on the show. He came to national fame on America's Got Talent when Howard Stern was a judge. And his talent is he can get kicked in the balls. He can jump off of a 10-foot thing onto a 2x4 with his legs spread out and land on his balls. And he makes faces and stuff like, whoa, it hurts, but it doesn't bother him.
Wow. Is he anatomically
connected? He's been examined by physicians, and they say he's fine, and his testicles are fine. I don't understand it. They took, one of those bamboo canes?
Oh, yeah.
That they cane people with?
Yeah,
they did that under his legs.
No, that would be hard. That would be painful.
Had two guys, at one point, just with each end lifting him up.
For goodness sakes.
And he's going to be on the show again. He reached out to me recently wanting to come back on. He's got something else to talk about. So, but my kid, Liam, Beck was too little. He doesn't really remember. But Liam would watch him and just laugh and laugh and laugh. He thought it was hilarious. And so when we had Horace on the show, he was kind enough to autograph a thing to Liam, which he still has.
How funny.
He's got it on his wall.
I actually remember the horse guy getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And I'll tell you this. Of course, everybody has their own level of discomfort, but, they don't teach a lot of, in self-defense classes, women not to kick men in the testicles because it really doesn't cause them that much pain. It just kind of pisses them off.
Yeah.
They teach you to, punch in the nose or the side of the neck, but much more so than getting kicked.
Is that
in the
right?
nuts. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, I've got a quick question.
Yeah, and
Sean.
any women who have actually passed a human through their vaginal cavity that wants to chime in the waiting room, feel free, and Dr. Scott will pick those things up.
Yeah.
But, it's childbirth.
Yeah, I'm saying childbirth 100%.
100%.
So Sean says...
If you kicked me in the nuts so hard that it ruptured one of my testicles, I'm still not going to say that's worse than childbirth.
I agree 100%.
Anyway.
Yeah. But, Sean was chiming in. He said, how about kidney stones compared to the childbirth?
Kidney stones are bad.
They're horrible.
That's really bad. Now, that might be close.
Now, I've got gout, and I'm not saying gout's as bad.
You got the gouch.
The gouch.
I need my gouch medicine.
It's awful. Oh, God, it's awful. But I think between kidney stones and gout, those are two pretty similar in discomfort. But I'd say childbirth has got to be worse.
Well, severe pain in your big toe.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is, I'm not thinking that it's worse than
I'm not thinking so either.
Passing up.
Yeah, I think it lasts longer, but the one benefit about childbirth is after the birth, the women's hormones kick in to help them kind of forget how painful it was.
Well, you don't remember pain anyway.
Yeah.
You remember that you were in pain,
right?
But you don't remember pain.
Yeah.
If people that are listening to this think about it, think of the worst pain you ever had. You can remember, like I said, that you were in pain, but as far as feeling it again or remembering it in the way that we think of remembering things, you just can't do it.
No, it is not.
Is somebody saying something to you in the waiting room?
Yeah, Mick's talking about going to pass out if we keep talking about rupturing nuts.
Sorry.
Hey, we might have our new GVAC here. we need a GVAD.
It is funny how people in medicine, you'd just be sitting there talking, and it's like, yeah, this guy defecated all over the bed, and it was full of mucus, and you're just eating your spaghetti, and everyone else, and you look around, and everyone is like sitting there just with this horrified look on their face.
Yeah. It's a whole different.
You get inured to it.
Yes, you do.
Anyway,
so there.
All right.
You go.
Well, that's a good one. Now, you had a question left over from last week.
It was. Well, let me find it here.
Okay.
Dr. Scott, did you see my question about scintillating scotoma?
Yeah.
If it
Who's
occurs
this from?
occasionally, is there a reason for concern? I did not get the name. I just copied the question, so I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But if you
I've had this happen to me once.
Okay.
So scintillating, you know what scintillating means, flashing, and then scotomata means a deficit in the visual field. So it would be flashing lights in one part of the visual field. And, it usually starts as like a spot or a flickering light, and it can be near the center or near the edge of your visual field. With me, my scintillating scotomata happened just out of the blue. I was driving, and there was bright, the sun was bright, and I got into the hospital, and I thought that I had, if you look at a bright light for too long, you get sort of, a spot in your vision that's temporary, where the rods and the cones have just been overworked and there's no chemicals left to send that signal to the brain, so you get this spot.
Right.
Well, it was a bright spot, and it didn't go away. And then it spread to the upper right side of my vision, only in my right eye, and it looked like neon sign, where it was just, you know how a neon sign, worse than that, a marquee sign, where they have the lights and they flash in sequence to make sort of a pattern that looks like motion.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
And it looked like that, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was like, oh my effing God, what's going on with me? So I was near the emergency room. I went ahead and checked, I just went in there and called a neurologist and said, get your ass down here. There's something going on, because it wasn't something I could ignore. And then before he could even get there, it got less and less and less, and then it just went away.
Wow.
Never happened again.
Oh, cool. Well, let's keep it that way.
So he said that I had an acephalgic migraine.
Okay.
Never had a migraine, never have headaches. But acephalgic migraine, remember the Greek, A in the front of a word means not.
Yep.
So cephalgia, ceph meaning C-E-P-H, meaning the head, algia meaning pain. So no head pain, migraine.
Right.
And so it was an acephalgic migraine. And that can just be caused by contraction of the blood vessels around the brain. And, I had some contraction of the blood vessels in the visual cortex, which is near the back of the brain.
Skull, yeah.
And that was it. Never happened again. And that can happen sometimes.
Sure.
And other people will have these things as aura before they have a migraine. So they'll see these scintillating scotomata, and they know, I'm going to have a migraine. And then they take their migraine medicine and
hopefully
try to prevent it.
Too bad. Right on.
So anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm just looking for some studies and anything here. It just says a visual anomaly results from abnormal functioning of portions of the occipital cortex. So the occiput is in the base of the brain on the back. And there's visual stuff in there. There's internal mapping. You remember when we talked about when I had those hypnopompic episodes, the sleep paralysis episodes, and I would open my eyes and I could see the whole room around me. But when I actually woke up, it was pitch black in there. And that whole quote-unquote room around me thing was my occipital part of my brain reconstructing a three-dimensional map of my surroundings.
Yep.
Now, how in the hell, you think about it, people who have ever programmed games or played games, if you have a game with a big giant map in it with a lot of detail, it takes up huge amounts of memory.
Right.
And you can usually only run one of those things at once, particularly in a game console, you run one at once. But this little part of the brain that's about this big, the size of half a grapefruit, if that, and a small one
orange,
of that. Yeah.
An orange.
Can contain all of that detail. And not just right there, but pretty much any place you've ever been that you can remember details about how the place is constructed. That could be routes on a road. You know, how do you get from here to there, and you can visualize it. That's all in the occipital cortex, so it's crazy.
It is pretty wild.
How in the hell?
I don't know.
Well, then we get into, well, how do we even have any consciousness at all?
Yep.
And that has to be some sort of recursive thing where concept, well, not even concepts, they can't be concepts yet, but impulses refer back to themselves, so you have this loop that somehow generates consciousness. I mean, you think about it too much, you will go insane.
Yes. There's a reason why that's the one thing that we really haven't done a great job of figuring out yet.
Yeah.
Is brain function.
Well, Gödel kind of proved that we'll never be able to fully do it.
Yeah.
And in one of his proofs, he showed that mathematics by itself is inherently incomplete. There are things that mathematics cannot describe about itself. That's what he was really talking about. And the great book, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, is Gödel, Escher, Bach. It goes through all of this recursion and stuff like that. But mathematics, it's not that we don't know how to do it. It can't do it.
Right.
It's not possible with the way that we do mathematics for it to describe every single thing about itself. And that may be true of the brain, too. It just can't describe everything about itself.
Well, I think so, and I think considering that every brain is so unique in all of the, you know, someone lives for 50 years.
Not
you know,
me.
all of those.
Does anybody get that?
Yeah, probably.
I'm not unique.
probably movie Messiah here. He might get it.
Well, that was from Life of Brian.
Yep. Yeah.
You're all individuals, and one guy pipes up and goes, "I'm not."
Hey,
he was the only one that was.
Hey, I think Mick's got a good question here. Does being aware of medical phenomena make you more inclined to experience them?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
It does. Yeah, it makes it, because it's really easy to look at yourself and go, "Oh my gosh, what's
or
going
just
on
worry
here?"
about it.
Yeah.
You know,
could that be a blank or a blank? And
yeah, no, I've always got cancer. I've always got, and so, and I'll go through, oh God, I've got pancreatic cancer. I went through a period of that where I was just having abdominal pain. I just assumed that I had pancreatic cancer, while as any normal person would just say, I've got a bellyache.
Right.
And so I went through all kinds of testing. It had to prove to myself that I didn't have it because I'd wake up thinking about it. Now, this was a long time ago. Now, hell, I welcome the relief that death will bring. But, you know, Jesus.
From pancreatic cancer to gastritis.
So yes, it does make a big difference.
It does make a huge difference, yeah, and that's why it's
but that's true for anything.
I think so.
If you build houses, you're always going to be thinking that there's some flaw in what you made.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then be thinking about it and stuff till you can prove to yourself that it isn't there. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, I would think so.
Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Yep. That's
hilarious.
a good one.
Good one.
All right. So that's scintillating scotomata. If it happens once, Dr. Steve's rule is, and it's not really my rule. I just like to say that going back decades ago. But if you have something like that happen once, get it checked out.
Sure.
If there's blood coming out from an orifice it's not supposed to be coming out from, which, by the way, is every orifice, get it checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it happens again and they've identified a benign cause, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you just know it's blood.
Same thing with sex headaches. We've talked about this before. Some people get these massive thunderclap headaches during intercourse, and it will happen. It's got to happen for a first time at some point. The first time it happens, get it checked out, get a neurologist to look at you. They'll make sure you don't have something going on that they need to deal with. And if they don't, then you take the medicine and move on with your life.
Do your thing.
Yep. Stretch your stuff.
Stretch your stuff.
All right. You got anything else? I know I sent you a bunch of stuff, but we could do some questions.
Yeah, let's do some questions because we've got some other good ones for next time.
All right.
Number one thing, don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
Thank you, Ronnie B. That's absolutely true. Let's see here. Here's one for you, by the way. This would be a good one for Dr. Scott. Let's see.
Hey, Dr. Steve. This is Adam in Nebraska.
Hey, Adam.
How are you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good to hear. Dr. Scott.
What's
How
up?
are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks.
Great. Glad to hear it.
Perfect.
I was just calling to say thanks. I was listening to your show a couple of shows ago, and you guys talked about mustard for heartburn or acid reflux. I don't get heartburn all that often, but when I do, I've tried a bunch of the over-the-counter medication, and it doesn't really seem to do a lot. After a day or so, it just goes away. But I was at the store and remembered your show, so I picked up some mustard, had it, and got some heartburn a couple days later, and so I got a big teaspoon, like Dr. Scott said, and took it, and it was gone instantly. The heartburn and, you know, the burping and that kind of thing, it was just gone. And it was great. So I just wanted to say thanks. It really helped me out, and now I have a bottle of mustard just ready to go.
Cool, man.
It's fine for temporary relief of what we call pyrosis or heartburn. Have you thought any more about why this works? Because I can actually attest that in the short term, this does work, and it's against what you would think.
Right. My gut feeling, and I've not done any research, is maybe the turmeric in the mustard might help with inflammation.
Yeah, turmeric is known to be an anti-inflammatory. Does it work that fast in the stomach?
I think so. But, you know, and the thing I tell people, too, with recurrent GERD and reflux and gastritis is making sure warm foods and warm drinks are important. Making sure that, you know, you lay off the fried stuff helps. But in a shot of yellow mustard can help quickly, but it certainly doesn't cure it, but it does help calm
right. So if you have that frequently, please go see your primary care provider.
Yeah, make sure what's going on.
But using it the way he used it, never has heartburn, had some mustard or went and bought some because he heard you talking about it. Then he got some heartburn. Of course, that's an excellent question. Did hearing you talk about it give him heartburn? Because listening to you talk gives me heartburn. Well,
there you go.
Anyway, so, and then he took it and it went away and never came back. That's fine. If you're having recurrent heartburn, even Dr. Scott, especially Dr. Scott, would say make sure you get that checked out.
Shoot, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good deal.
Hey, man, that's why I'm here. I love science. Check it out.
Yeah, me too.
Check it out.
All right. We had, let's see here. Let's do this one. I think this is props. I'm not sure. Okay. Technical difficulties. Why are we having this problem? Okay, I'm going to have to stop recording just for a second. Sorry, everybody. I tested everything before we... Okay, I know why. This is going to take me just a second to fix.
I'm going to go back through some of the conversations here.
Talk to people.
While you're doing it. Let's see. Was it Colin that had a bleeding issue after surgery on a deviated septum? Had a balloon stuck up his nose.
Let's talk about that.
To stop the bleeding.
Yeah,
it was very painful. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Any kind of surgical procedures on your nose where they stuff the cotton and then have to pull the cotton out of your nose and sinus.
I have a video of Tacy when she had hers, and it was the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. It just kept coming.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. When she had another issue with blood swelling up in a certain place, it was...
Well, that's true. She's talked about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else?
After her mutilation.
Yep.
Okay, I'm almost there.
And somebody else had asked about, was Dr. Steve talking, it sounded like an ocular migraine. Her husband has those.
That's actually something different. That's a great...
It is different.
Go ahead.
Well, it is different. It's two different parts of the head getting
the loss of blood flow or whatever.
Getting the strangulation of the vessels leading in there. So
similar,
but it's not.
Mine was in the brain. His are actually in the
eyes. Yep.
We should probably bring that up when we come back. Why don't you say so and so? Who was it?
I want want to say it was it Cindy? I think it was Cindy. Yeah, it is Cindy. Yeah.
Okay. So just say, you know.
Okay.
And what that'll also do is it'll encourage people to check us out when we're live because they'll see we're being slightly interactive.
Slightly. We're being
I'm on the last one here. I've got it. Sorry.
Yes, movie Messiah, you're correct. The live feed shows how much Dr. Steve screws up. Yeah, you guys should see what happens. You should see what happens before the show when we're both screwing up pretty regularly. Let's see here. I'm trying to get
God bless it, not you. It's fine. I messed up. This last one's being up.
I know it, Amanda. I could get into play some music. I could.
Yeah, we'll play some music.
Well, I think she was talking about
now.
Instead of me.
No, I'd rather you just
blah,
see
blah,
me
trying
to fix it. Behind the scenes and all that stupid shit. Yeah, let me find the thing about the ocular migraine here.
Yeah, Amanda, we're trying to come up with something decent for the after show party, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay, wrong place. God
bless America.
Yep.
I think we're dropping them. They're dropping like flies.
Oh,
Dr. Steve.
All right.
Stay awake, guys. We'll be right back. Let's see. Anything else? It's captivating.
Okay. Now, all right.
See, failing is fun. I thought Mick said falling is fun. It reminded me of a song. Funny how falling feels like flying.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
All right, guys.
Yep. Yeah, we're ready. Hang on.
We're back on.
Okay, that's where we're going to start.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, that didn't fix it. Fuck.
Oh, hellfire.
Okay, hang on.
Plan B.
No, I don't know that I have a plan B for this.
No.
Hang on. Oh, boy. Okay.
Hey, good doctor. This is Virgil from Kentucky.
All right.
Hope you're doing.
Thank you, Virgil. All right, hang on. Here we go. I don't know why this is happening all of a sudden. I hate surprises. Okay, here we go. All right.
Hey, good doctor. This is Virgil from Kentucky.
Hey, Virgil.
Hope you're doing good.
Doing great, man.
AC, Dr. Scott.
Hey,
hope you are too, man.
Listen, you were talking about how bad your last show was. To me, it was one of the best you had in a long time. No Stacy Deloach on there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
oh, shit. Don't. I will hear from him on that. God damn it, Scott. He's just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
He's not, but it's okay.
Or PA or Senseis or whatever. It actually turned out to be a real good show, and I got a lot from it.
Okay,
so,
good.
Just my 2 cents worth. Keep up the good work. I've learned so much from your show.
Hey, thanks, Virgil. I appreciate it, and we'll send your best regards to Mr. DL. All right.
I love it.
You just love to.
I love it.
On
I love to get his goat.
Yeah. Well. Okay. I'm not gonna say anymore. I don't want to get this going again.
No. Hell
All
no.
right. All right. Let's see. Let's try this one. Okay. Nope. So I'm going to have to do all of these a certain way because my computer is messing up.
Hey, Dr. Steve. It's Tucker Dixon again. Giving a call in. Maybe you need a marketing guy. If you know anybody who's a podcaster, maybe a former marketing,
Oops.
Let's
see.
Well, I fucked this one up. You can embarrass me on this one. Sorry.
We don't have to do anything of the sort, my friend.
Nope.
You did that yourself. Let's see what he was trying to say here. All right.
Hey, Dr. Steve. It's Tucker Dixon. Maybe you need a marketing guy, a former podcaster who used to be in marketing might help you out with this. But my question was, what do you think about coronavirus being the only thing we talk about from here on out and ignoring things like the common cold?
Totally
From a
agree.
marketing standpoint, I see that as the news sells that as, oh, yeah, the coronavirus is terrible this year. Coronavirus, 22, 23, 24. Anyways, I guess I'll take this off air. And good luck on the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network.
Thanks, my friend. So he's not wrong, but I think there's a lot of COVID fatigue out there. People are sick of it.
Yeah.
I advertised this show as being COVID free, not realizing that we were going to have this is tangential to it though. What's going to happen is that all those people who used to die from coronavirus, and back in the day, meaning 3 years ago, we'd get 10, 20,000 people die of coronavirus disease every year, but they were just lost in the noise. We called it atypical pneumonia, or we called it viral pneumonia, non-influenza, or whatever.
Right.
But we didn't test for that. You better believe we're going to be testing for it from now on.
Yep.
And we'll probably pick up all the other coronaviruses too. And I'm okay with that because I want people to know these effing coronaviruses are a problem and we need to destroy them.
Yep. Yep.
Again, putting out my call for universal destruction of all human pathogenic viruses.
Yes, that would be nice.
It would be.
Yeah.
And then we have a question about that, as a matter of fact. Okay. So, yeah, thank you, Tucker. You're not wrong. But people are sick of it. No one wants to hear it on this show anymore. Unless something outstanding happens, we won't be bringing it up anymore. And unless an excellent call such as yours comes in, and then we'll touch on it. But we do need to be paying attention. Get back to paying attention to other diseases. One of my really good friends just found out they had a tubular adenoma in their colonoscopy, and I'm really glad they didn't put it off, blaming it on coronavirus. But there were tons of people who missed their screening colonoscopies in the last 2 years, thinking, I don't want to go in there and be exposed to something in this colonoscopy suite. And the colonoscopists weren't thrilled about it either because, they're just sucking stuff out of people's colons and their stomachs. And, they're spraying viruses all over everywhere. So even in a closed system, it's impossible for it to be fully closed.
Yep.
So I do think that we need to put that out there that since all of this started, the age for a colonoscopy, a screening colonoscopy has been ratcheted down to 45. If you are older than 45 and you have not had your colonoscopy yet, please go do that now and at least talk to your primary care. Say, hey, I'm over 45. I heard that I need to get a colonoscopy and get it done. It's not that bad. The prep is the thing, but hell, you lose 7 pounds of shit when you do it, and you feel pretty light on your feet with all those turds in your colon.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
Get a day or two off of work, and you're asleep during this. Unless you're a nut like I am and do it without anesthesia. If you want to see something cool, don't do anesthesia and watch them do your colonoscopy. It's live. It's pretty neat. Except for the putting in and the taking out part, because then your giant anus is on this screen. It fills up this 6-foot screen because it has to. As they get closer and closer to it, it gets bigger and bigger, and then it's just giant. And then they get it in there, and then you see nice pink mucous membrane, and you see,
no more hair.
No, oh God. So awful. And when I see those women that help my GI guy in the hospital, I always go, stop it. And they're like, what? And I said, I know what you're thinking about when you see me. Because how could you think of anything else?
Yep.
Except they see a million of them. They don't care.
No.
One
like
old
hairy gray ass is the same across the board.
So disgusting.
Yep.
I swear I'm going to get a a Brazilian before I have my next colonoscopy.
Oh, that would be radio worthy for sure.
Well, we did that before. That was before your time.
Yeah.
I got a Brazilian, recorded it, played the recording on the show, and then I passed Flatus to demonstrate how it sounded different when it's just skin against skin rather than hair and skin against hair and skin.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God!
So
you're right, Kim. He's lost it.
I'll put that one on the Patreon. And do check out our Patreon. There's stuff on there that you can't get anywhere else. Anyway, all right. Oh, Pete Davidson is going into outer space.
I saw that.
March 23rd, I think. Oh, that's very soon. And he's agreed to come on our show and talk about it afterward.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be cool.
I'm very excited about that.
Super cool.
And that's okay. So anyway, all right. Let's take another question. So we got Tucker Dixon. Oh, I like this one too. This is a good one. And it's just habit. I'm going to have to fix this after the show.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Steve. This is Phil. I'm calling in regards to your most recent podcast where you brought up your solution to COVID, as in sticking everyone inside a bubble for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And it would all be over.
That's right.
Boy, do I wish that was possible. Would have saved a lot of heartache. Anyway,
I know.
It made me think, does a filtration system exist in the medical field or anywhere that is so strong that it could filter out every known pathogen and, frankly, every unknown pathogen, where if you walked into a room that was insulated with this filtration and you stood in it unprotected, you would feel comfortable being bombarded with viral particles from the outside. And as a follow-up, if it does exist, could it be minimized to a point, I'm thinking like Star Trek, where you have that technology, a small debris that you put
That's
around
where
your
I was
mouth,
going.
that could be given eventually to the public. And I know that with masking, people were so against that, but there's a lot of miscommunication about masking and which masks to use. But if something was shown, as much seriousness as people would take it with, could that technology be shrunk down to such a small scale that it become portable and easily distributable? Thanks, Dr. Steve. Talk to you later.
No,
Bye.
I love it. So let's just talk about filters real quick. So the virus that causes COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2. It's 0.125 microns. Okay. So that's 0.125 millionths of a centimeter, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 125 nanometers. So it's right around the same wavelength of some light.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big this thing is. It's really, really tiny. But HEPA filters, can go down to 0.01 micron.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what he's talking about is we would need a Star Trek type situation where you have a force field that surrounds your body that will allow oxygen and nitrogen and carbon dioxide in, will allow carbon dioxide out, and then will somehow block, selectively block things like viruses.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
I would rather just kill all the viruses because I hate them.
Yeah.
But that would be a solution.
Yep.
Of course, it would require technology that to us would look like magic right now. So we don't have it. But is there any reason that you couldn't have an intelligent force field like that in the laws of physics? I can't think of a law of physics other than maybe if it violated entropy in some way, but you can get over violating entropy by adding energy to a system. So it would just require, a power supply.
Okay.
So anyway, there was a sort of a physics philosophical question where you would have a demon in a cave, and the demon would only allow slow-moving particles into the cave and would repel all the fast-moving particles, and then you would set up a gradient where the cave would be much colder than the outside world. And there you can get into all kinds of philosophical discussions whether this is possible or not. Of course, we do it every day with air conditioning.
Yep.
but it's a different thing. And okay, let me ask you. Here's an energy / entropy sort of type question, and everyone can think about this, and you'll probably all get the answer right because you're smart. If I open my refrigerator in a very small room, you got a tiny little room, 6x6 room, and you open up the refrigerator and the freezer doors, what will happen to the temperature in the room over time? I'm asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cool it off.
Yeah, that's what you would think.
Yeah.
So initially,
it will.
It might even do that.
Yep.
But here's what will happen.
But over time, it'll get hot because the refrigerator's going to work too hard to cool the room.
Okay, I'll give you this.
Give yourself a bill.
Yeah, that's right. So initially, the thermometer may go down, but over time it will increase, and it will never go back down again.
Right.
And the reason for that is that the motor and the system for transmitting heat from one place to another, that's all it's doing.
Right.
It's exchanging heat that's inside the refrigerator and bringing it out to the outside world. And there's no perfect system. You can't have that demon. That was what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that demon doing it, and there has to be a cost. And the cost is heat energy that's caused by the mechanism that makes that transfer.
Right.
And it can't be zero. It has to be net positive. So therefore, the heat must go up in the room. Now, the more efficient it is, the less hot it will get in the room. But with a regular refrigerator, they're terribly inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature will go up quite a bit. So anyway, very good, Dr. Scott.
Cool.
You're one of them dang geniuses.
Regular genius.
All right, so we did the universal Okay, here's a good one. And I clicked it the wrong way again. Okay, there we go.
Hey, Dr. Steve and Dr. Scott. This is Zach from Oklahoma.
Hey, Zach.
I have a question about ejaculation.
Excellent.
There you
or
go.
as you guys in the medical field call it, cum. So when I was younger, I would notice that ejaculate, it has a very distinct smell.
Yep.
And as I got older, I equated it to maybe just a faint smell of bleach. I mean, it didn't smell like straight up bleach.
Yeah.
But I just thought this was normal. And
I get what he's saying. If you had to describe it, then that would be the closest. It's like trying to describe an orgasm to someone, and if you had to describe it, you say, well, it's like a sneeze, but it goes on for a long time, but it's really not like a sneeze, but it's kind of like that. I understand what he's saying.
Yet I would have conversations with other people, usually of the opposite gender, being women, and they would be like, that just sounds strange. If your cum is smelling like bleach, there's something wrong with you. Well, as I got older, I've since heard other conversations and comedians. I remember O&A saying something about it.
Yep.
Jim Norton has said the same thing, that when they describe the smell of ejaculate, it has a slight bleachy smell.
Correct.
So I didn't feel so crazy. But yet, still, now that I'm older, in conversations...
Listen, just because everybody says the same stupid thing doesn't make you less crazy. So that in itself is not reason for you to feel better about yourself. But I'm going to make you feel better about it. Okay.
Where it comes up like a joke or something like that in conversation,
yeah,
mostly women will be like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. That should not smell like bleach. There's something wrong with you. So my question is it possible that women smell ejaculate differently than men?
Interesting.
Or does some
or that they bothered to smell it at all, because why would they?
men smell it differently than men? Is it something to do with pheromones or something like that? So
no, that's a really interesting question. I think this gets down to the whole concept of zeitgeist, where everybody says it smells like bleach, and that's not a completely wrong answer. So now it just smells like bleach to everybody. And here's the scientific answer that I can give you is that semen is slightly alkaline,
mm-hmm.
and sweat which is usually around when semen is produced, has sodium and chloride in it. So the chloride's the big thing. Well, the sodium is as well. When you have an alkaline environment and sodium and chloride, you may be making a little bit of sodium hypochlorite. It's not impossible, even if the reaction is 0.00001%. When you're talking about the numbers of atoms that are there and how sensitive the nose is to these things, that may be what's happening.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that it would be kind of a bleachy smell to you, that you could describe it that way. There are other things in semen, zinc and other metals and things that can combine with things on the skin that could cause an odor as well, which is why it doesn't smell just like semen. Now, if it smells off, you may have an infection in your prostate, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Now, and my hypothesis about women not smelling it, first off, they're not as gross as men. I mean, men, they're beating off, and then they're smelling their semen. I mean, that's just something a dude would do, But and women aren't that gross, but the vaginal wall and secretions in the vagina tends to be acidic. And so when you combine the alkaline semen with the acidic vaginal secretions, that may be neutralizing that smell, why women have just never encountered this. I mean, look, if you got a good relationship with the woman and you're having, intercourse with her and stuff, see if she'll do, give you a handy and then just smell it and see what she says. Women don't talk about men's ejaculate like that unless it stinks, unless there's something wrong with it. So if you want to know, that'd be a good experiment to do. It'd be, anecdotal, but it would be interesting. But you'd have to have a really special relationship with that woman to do that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I like that one.
That was a good one.
Okay, let's do this one. A little more philosophical. Clicked it the wrong way again. I'm going to have to delete that app. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Steve. This is Adam in Nebraska.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
I had a question about life expectancy.
Okay.
Let's just say, for sake of argument, that the two main killers in the United States, being heart disease and cancer, let's say they were eliminated tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you think that, barring any kind of medical miracle, that we could get to the point where people live beyond the age of 110 or 120 years old, or is there just a point where the body cannot work any longer, or it just won't function correctly? I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this. Thanks.
Yeah, so I love this question. You guys, you're on top of it. We're getting back to weird medicine questions. I like it. So, no COVID. Please call in more philosophical and questions like this, and all these that we've had today. They've been great. So you all have really made our job easy. Larry Niven had this. He was a science fiction writer, and he had this thing called dicta immunity. And it was just a bastardization of dictator.
Okay.
And when they would grab these posts, they had teleportation, but he grabbed this post in this book and with both of his hands, and nothing happened, or he didn't think anything happened. But what really happened was all of the senescent cells and things that were impeding cellular regeneration were teleported out of his body into this other, canister. And he started getting younger. His hair grew back. He started looking younger, all this stuff. So it was really interesting. So anti-aging is a science. It's not gotten very far yet. But you look at it, and I tell people, and if we had some answer for whatever medical problem, if we just knew enough and understood how all the numbers went together, that we could solve any problem. If that was philosophically true, right now there would be at least 200 or 300, 400-year-old people running around just by chance.
Right, just randomly, yeah.
Right? Out of the billions of people that have been alive.
Right.
the fact that the maximum age seems to be around 122 or somewhere in there, and those people, by the way, if you think about that, those people have never been to the doctor for the most part. They're not sick. They don't have congestive heart failure. They don't have lung cancer. They just get to be 125, and then they have a stroke, or they fall and break their hip, they die, something like that. And those people in the Ural Mountains that smoke cigarettes and drink vodka every day, they never see a doctor a day in their life.
Yep.
So that does seem to be the hard stop.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is, if we want to do it with our organic bodies, is to figure out a way to stop aging. But if we do that, then we're going to either have to colonize other planets, or we're going to have to stop having children too.
Yeah.
Because this place will fill up pretty quickly
Really
if people
quickly.
stop dying.
Yep.
So it will bring with it a lot of other issues. Now, I've thought for years that our children that go to the stars and colonize the universe are going to be machines rather than us.
Yeah.
But that's going to require our ability to take a quantum picture of what's going on in our brain and move that over to a machine,
Mm-hmm.
So that we go intact.
Yep.
And then, what the hell? Okay, so I take my consciousness and I move it into a machine. Well, now the machine is conscious, thinks it's me. I still think I'm me. What do? They just shoot me in the head? I mean, now there's two of me.
Be easier to feed if you're dead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, well, wait a minute.
No.
I'm not in the machine. I'm still here. Yeah. The machine's going, oh no, the transfer was worked very well. I'm in here.
Yep, I can think of a lot of people that would make that's a really scary scenario to them.
Yeah, well,
like
look at the Star
your
Trek
wife and your kids.
Yeah, yeah, really. The Star Trek transporter, for example.
Yeah,
it's not a wormhole where they step through. They're being destroyed, and then they're being sent somewhere else and then recreated. And there was a time when I think Scotty was trapped inside a transporter.
Mm-hmm.
On the receiving side, and then they recreated him like years later. So that means I could put somebody in that machine and then just turn it off and just go F yourself. And they say, well, we're taking you in for murder. And I go, oh, well, click, and that person comes back, and here they are.
Yep.
And then what if it gets scrambled on the way and you come out with your ear and on your forehead and all that kind of stuff? So transporter technology brings with it some ethical and moral issues.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't figure out a way to create a wormhole that you just walk through and it's actually you here on Earth and then walking through and you're on Mars or whatever,
Yep.
All right? Okay.
Cool.
Pot talk. All right, let's see. Okay, I know the answer to this one, but if I would click the right thing again, God, I am just a creature of habit. Here we go.
Hi, Dr. Steve. My name's Matt.
Hey, Matt.
I have a dent in my shoulder. It looks like something atrophied right a little bit above the belly of my deltoid.
Okay. He used the right word. I'm going to give him one of these.
Give yourself a bill.
Because he already has the
From my
answer.
primary care, he thinks it might have been from a cortisone shot I got.
Give yourself a
in
bill.
September. I also had 2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine.
Oh,
Last one was a year ago, March 11th.
Okay.
I could send you a picture.
He did,
I
as a
don't know
matter
if
of
it's
fact.
cell phone or not.
No, it's fun.
Anyway, kind of wondering, what's going on in there. Muscle atrophy and fat atrophy. I'm not sure. You might know. All right. I'll try and text over the picture, see if it works.
Yeah, you did, and thank you. I could not find anything where there was an association between, and here we get another COVID question, but this really isn't a COVID question, where the COVID vaccine caused fat atrophy. But lots of times I have seen where, and a lot of times it's when you use a needle that isn't long enough to give someone a cortisone shot in their shoulder, and they'll get a atrophy of the fat around where they did it. In other words, so I got somebody, and for whatever reason, I don't know, they've got a sinus infection and it's not going away, and I want to give them a shot of corticosteroid, which decreases inflammation in the body. And their fat pad is an inch deep, or let's say, well, an inch and a half deep, and I only use a 1-inch needle, and all of that cortisone goes into the fat itself. It doesn't go into the muscle where you want it to go.
Right.
Because if you put it in the muscle, it stays there and then disperses out to the body over time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put it in the muscle, sometimes you'll kill the fat cells around there, and they'll shrink, and we call that atrophy, and you'll get a dent in that place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all that is.
Yep.
Same thing we'll see in very sensitive tissues of the skin. If you use a powerful steroid, like on the jungle region, you can get atrophy of the skin there as well. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Never put cortisone on the jungle region unless a dermatologist has given you the kind that you can do that with, and they've told you that it's okay.
Yeah, it's a very specific strength.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, I like this one too. This is a great weird medicine question. And I got to quit double clicking on those. Open up the right app. I know I'm stupid. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Steve, how are you doing?
Okay, I'm dumb.
I'll wait the obligatory amount of time for your response.
Thank you, sir. I'm an idiot.
Okay. So anyway, weird question. Getting a runny nose and actually nasal drippage while using the restroom, number 2, or also getting ready to achieve a sexual orgasm and climax. It's become a problem, obviously, with a new girlfriend, and not the pooping wise, but for the orgasm wise. So, I'm getting close to climaxing. I'm having to wipe my nose, and it's kind of getting interrupting the flow of everything.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, it gets kind of messy. I've done some research. I know it's a flight or fight response.
Not necessarily.
I guess is what they're saying. But what can I do to treat it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. So he's having histamine release during orgasm. Right. Let's touch on that one first. You can get there are people that start sneezing and snotting when they go outside because there is a sunlight associated histamine release.
Mm-hmm.
There are other people that have this when they go out in the cold.
Yep.
Okay? And then other things like allergens and stuff like that, but just environmental things. When you get close to orgasm, you release histamine into the tissues of your giant, meaty, erect penis. And there are some people, they're rare, but there are some people that they'll release it in other places as well, and you're doing it in your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for some people, antihistamines can cause problems with erectile dysfunction and ejaculation. But if you try one of the let me put this another way. Many physicians would recommend that if you try an over-the-counter non-drowsy antihistamine, that may help.
Mm-hmm.
So letting her know that this is what it is, and let her listen to this,
mm-hmm.
so that she knows that you're not a nut. And then, just have some tissues, and then while you're strutting your stuff, you can be blowing your nose.
Right on. Hey, and the other option is maybe a nasal spray. Instead of an oral, of an oral, that might help.
That's
possibly.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm giving you one of these.
Give yourself a bill.
There is a nasal spray called Azolastine, and it is a nasal antihistamine. It doesn't go everywhere else. That's the right answer, Dr. Scott. Ask your primary care for that. That one is, I believe, prescription only.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, awesome, excellent. Thank you. All right, well, listen, thanks always go to Dr. Scott, and thanks to our listeners in the waiting room and around the world. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. All right. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, good on the Azolastine. I had totally just spazzed on that.
I think just a hair better than an oral systemic.
Yes. Yeah, you're
in this case.
Absolutely
anyway.
right. Absolutely right. Okay, I've got to stitch all this together because we stopped at least twice. All right. Anybody in the chat room have anything interesting that they want to bring to the podcast? Because we're going to do that next.
Hey, real quick, Mick is talking about not seeing a doctor. Almost brings it back to not being aware of an illness, and he's talking about a study that shows that old men who didn't know they had prostate cancer actually do better. Now,
oh, that's interesting.
yeah, and I'd like to see it stay, but I could, as well as I do, a lot of older gentlemen that get diagnosed with prostate cancer, they just say you're going to outlive the cancer, and that might be part of that. Other cancers, not so much. Colin, question about testosterone therapy not working consistently.
Oh, yeah, we got an answer for that.
Yeah, so I've tried shots, pellets, and Clomid. Sometimes they help but stop working or make me feel worse.
Okay.
I had the best results.
We got to get him to define what help means.
Yeah, because
when he says sometimes it helps, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's you feel more strong, or you have more giant meaty erections, or what is it?
Or are you sleeping better? You have, exercise
feel
better,
physically stronger. So let's just get right into those, and then we'll do the intro at the end, and then we'll play some funky music. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. Let me see where we were on that. Okay, yeah, we'll just start there. Okay. All right. See, that's why you're here, Dr. Scott. So, anyway, you've got one from the waiting room, I understand.
Yes,
Dr. Scott.
Yeah, so it's about. I was reading one of the. I'm sorry, I was over here taking a nap, Dr. Steve.
That's all right.
So yeah. So,
I don't blame you.
So Colin's asking about testosterone therapy not working consistently. I've tried shots, pellets, Clomid. Sometimes it helps.
I'm sorry. Everybody stand by. I'm on call as usual, and I've got to take this.
Hang on, guys.
Be right back. See how I started that? Sorry, everybody. That's right. Okay. All right. And by now, you probably have some responses, too, from the questions that we asked about this particular thing. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. And see, Dr. Scott, that's why you're here. So
There
appreciate
you
that.
go.
All right. So I understand you've got a question from one of the people in the chat room, a.k.a. the waiting room.
There you go. Lord.
Oh, that's so hacky, but that
It
makes
is
me
hacky.
happy. So,
All right.
what do you got?
Colin, can testosterone therapy not work consistently? I've tried shots, pellets, Clomid. Sometimes they help, but stop working or make me feel worse. I had the best results with Clomid.
Yes.
Okay.
Lots of people do.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. And he's talking about he's.
So I just want to know what he means by when it works. What kind of symptoms does he have?
Right on. So he says, I feel better physically and sexually overall and sleep better. When they stop working, it all goes away. Yes.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So Clomid is clomiphene, and clomiphene, rather than replacing testosterone, causes the body to make more testosterone. And it's really great for people who want to preserve fertility when they have low testosterone, because if you take testosterone supplementation and you take it over a long period of time, it'll just tell your testicles, well, you don't need to make any. We got plenty here.
Right.
And they'll go, okay, and they'll just go to sleep, and they won't produce sperm or anything.
Yep.
And because you're driving down the hormones in the pituitary gland that tell them to do all these things. So they'll just stop, and many people become infertile in doing that. Whereas the clomiphene basically tells the testicle through a different pathway than the FSH and LH, which are the pituitary hormones, to make more testosterone. It does a couple of things. It may, we don't know everything. It may be that testicular testosterone comes, and the other things that come with it is quote unquote better than just giving just the molecule testosterone. And also, it's your testicles don't shrink, and the body may see it as being more of a quote unquote natural process. So I think that in that regard, clomiphene may be superior, and that's why you felt better on it. In the end, if that's what made you feel better, then I think they should concentrate on that.
Yeah.
And what can we do to make it work more consistently? And that's something you got to talk to your prescriber about. And honestly, you could see an endocrinologist. They deal with glandular issues for this, and they may have some answers for you. I'm wondering if there are things that decrease absorption for clomiphene. Let's just look up clomiphene absorption and see if there's something in his diet or something else, some medication that's blocking this. Readily absorbed orally in humans. Well, that's interesting, because they usually give it in a shot form. Let's look at drug interactions and see. Let me see. Absorption, okay. The volume of distribution, route of elimination, we don't care about that. Drug interactions, okay. Aha! So the serum concentration of clomiphene can be increased in in the presence of certain drugs, like tyrosine kinase inhibitors. Don't worry about that. Those are mostly cancer drugs. I'm looking for, the serum concentration of clomiphene can be decreased when it is combined with apalutamide. What the hell is that? Is that a diabetes drug? That's one I've never heard of. So there are some drugs. Yeah. Anyway, I can't go through this whole list. It's exhaustive, but there are some drugs that can cause a decreased action of the clomiphene. So look at that. Have them look at all the drugs you're on. If you're taking supplements that they don't know about, give them those. There is an app called Hippocrates, and there are others that they could put all that stuff in and see if something is interacting with the clomiphene itself. Did you look up that drug?
You and I should have both guessed at what this is. It's a prostate cancer drug.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh, so it's...
I'd never heard of it, but I should have known, but it works.
Did it say what its trade name is?
Erlita.
I don't know that one.
I
Okay,
never
it's
heard
not
of
one
it.
that our oncologists use. Okay, but there may be other things like that that could be causing that issue. So if the clomiphene worked the best, I would focus on that. Maybe the dose was off. Maybe it was too much, or maybe not quite enough, or maybe the frequency that they were giving it to you wasn't correct. So talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And email me, and I'll send you some info. I'll do some more research.
And the other thing about the shots too, sometimes if you're not having good results with shots, they'll give them to you once a week instead of every other week.
Yeah, or they can change the place they're giving the shots
yeah, they
to.
can change it. Yeah.
You know, if you're not. Oh, look who it is.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble now.
Tacey, you're on Weird Medicine.
Still?
Yes.
But still.
We had technical difficulties.
Oh, I would have come up. My therapist forgot me.
Oh no! Well, that's not good. That's like.
I know. Okay.
Didn't you have a therapist fall asleep on you once?
Yes.
What is it about you and your therapist?
I don't know, but okay, y'all have fun.
I find you to be interesting and vivacious, but you
yeah,
know,
sure you do.
Apparently.
Okay, all right. Well, I would have come up, but anyway.
Okay, well, you're on the show now.
Instant.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you.
Okay, bye. All right. I guess that's my cue to get out of here. Thanks, everybody. We can't forget Rob Sprance, Bob Kelly, Greg Hughes, Anthony Cumia, Jim Norton, Travis Teff, that Gould Girl, Lewis Johnson, Paul Ovcharsky, Chowdy 1008, Howdy Gooplunk, Eric Nagel, the Port Charlotte Horror, the Saratoga Skank, the Florida Floozy, the St. Pete Barkeep Blower, Percy Dumb, Pocky U, Roland Campos, sister of Chris, Sam Roberts, she who owns Pigs and Snakes, Amanda Swan, Pat Duffy, Dennis Falcone, John Field, Matt Kleinschmidt, Dale Dudley, Holly from the Gulf, Sean Pedrick, oh, he's in there today, Christopher Walken's double, Steve Tucci, the great Rob Bartlett, Vic's Nether Fluids, Cardiff Electric, Casey's Wet T-Shirt, Curl's Deviated Septum, producer Chris, Jenny Jingles, the inimitable Vincent Paulino, everybody, Eric Zane, Bernie and Sid, Martha from Arkansas's Daughter, Ron Bennington, and of course our dear departed friends, GVAC and Fez Watley, who supported the show, never went unappreciated. Thanks to our Sirius XM show on Faction Talk channel, Sirius XM channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. You know why I say thanks to that? Because then we're not just two schlubs with a podcast.
Yep.
You know? Makes a difference in my brain somehow. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, schedules, and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. All right, let's go do the intro, and then we'll play some music.
That's good.
Okay, here we go. Not fucking around this time.
What do you call boogers on a diet? Slim pickings. Did you hear about the spatula's hot new flame? It met the grill of its dreams.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by two really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me
the respect that I'm entitled to.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic, echographic, and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in a tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now broadcasting from the world-famous Cardiff Electric Network studios. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medical practitioner who gives me street cred. The wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
This is a show for people who would never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-Whohead. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at DrScottWM. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcast, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your doctor, nurse practitioner, practical nurse, physician assistant, pharmacist, respiratory therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, yoga master, physical therapist, clinical laboratory scientist, registered dietitian, massage therapist, or whatever. All right, very good. Please don't forget stuff.drsteve.com for all of your Amazon needs. That's stuff.drsteve.com. Scroll down, find lots of things that we talk about on the show, or just click through to Amazon. Either way you do it, it really helps keep us on the air. And check out Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We're doing some cool stuff over there. Mm-hmm. We've got celebrity exam room episodes that will not be played anywhere else. And we've got classic Weird Medicine that won't be played anywhere else. I told the story about how Colin Quinn called me a son of a bitch. It's one of my favorite things ever. And I've got that little snippet on there. That was when I was a terrible friend to Brian from Radio Freaks. And I've told that story. It was just horrible. I was a horrible person, but I tell the story over there. So check it out. Patreon.com/weirdmedicine. All right. That's it. Okay. Want to play some music?
Yeah, let's play something.
All right. What do you want to play?
We can butcher something.
You want to play that damn John Prine song again? I
man.
almost got it. I know people might be getting sick of it, but I would never get sick of it.
It's such a beautiful song.
It is a great song, and I haven't practiced again this week, and I apologize for that. Let me see. What's the date today, Dr. Scott?
16/03/16.
Oh God, this year already.
I know it.
But it's better than. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
For now.
We had coronavirus. We didn't have war in Europe. So 03/16/22 recording. There we go. And we will put that here. Okay.
And the topics are...
Yeah, it's okay. You'll send them to me, right?
Yep, they're on their way.
Thank you.
Cyberspace.
Yeah, I like when you do that.
Makes it a little bit easier. Especially when we have 47 calls.
Yep.
Which is wonderful.
Yep. Well, we always do. We just don't do them. And I'm trying to make a point of doing more phone calls for a while. Go back to first principles. All right. Okay, you ready?
Getting close. Let me see. Let me get.
Do you need to tune up? Do you want the robot? Or are you okay?
I think.
I would like a mellower tone to that guitar. You spent a crap load of money for that, for it to sound like you're clanking around on a tin can.
Yeah, I've got the tone way down today. See if it's better.
So well, maybe the amp too.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song again?
Summer's End.
Summer's End, and we're going to use the far mic for that. There we go.
I'll give you a little mellower tone on the EQ up here too. How about that?
Does that sound better?
Yeah. All right.
You like that? You like that tone?
Yeah, that's good. Till you start clanking on it. What's the name of it again?
Summer's End. Summer's End.
And then we could do the summer wind.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The summer wind.
Kim Chicken said something. So I don't remember what she.
What was it? This is not the same song. This is a different song, but it's okay. Oh no, it is the same one. Okay, never mind. Are you? What's the first chord? Because I know you.
D.
Okay.
D is a dog.
Okay.
No, that's someone.
We started it with C last time.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
Well, no, we did not.
Yes, we did.
No, we might have played Caravan of Fools in C.
Okay.
But no, this is a.
I don't remember this. You playing an F sharp minor as long as I've known you.
Summer's
I know.
Around the bend just flying.
Okay.
Summer's
You're wrong, but I'm going to play it how you want because I just had to transpose it over here because I had it from last time and we started with the C.
You're crazy.
And then went to E minor.
You're crazy. No,
Yes.
that was a different song.
No, it's not. Okay. Anyway.
But here, I'll
Like I
play it
said.
and see.
It's okay. It's
Hang
okay.
on, no, I'll play it and see, and you'll see. It doesn't sound the same. So this is C. Summer's in, around the bend just flying.
Okay, now let's do it in D.
Yeah, let's do it in D.
Okay.
Yeah, we played because we played. I think it was somebody was it Talk Like It. You wanted Caravan of Fools.
Caravan
Yeah.
of Fools. Oh, yeah, you might be right. Okay, so I'm wrong.
Well, summer's in, around the bend just flying. The swimming suits are on the line just drying. I'll meet you there for our
Yeah, you're right.
conversation. I hope I did ruin your whole vacation. Well, you never know how far from home you'll feeling until you watch the shadows on the sea.
Oh, you need some reverb.
Well, I don't know. I can hear it snowing in your car. The windows are wide open. Come on home. Come on home. You don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Well, Valentines bring hearts and minds at random. That Easter egg, you ain't got a leg to stand on. Well, I can see you can't win both trying. And New Year's Eve is bound to leave you crying. Come on home. Come on home. You don't have to be alone. Go back to G. Come on home. Come on home. Moon and stars hang out in bars just talking. I still love that picture of us walking. just like that old house we all thought was home. The summers and came faster than we wanted. Come on home, come on home. Yeah, you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Come on home. Well, you don't have to be alone. Back to the G. Come on home. G. Come on home. D. Come on home. There you go.
That's a good song.
Yeah, you know, I was stupid. I didn't wait on you to lead that bass. Little.
What do you mean?
Usually I do a better job than you do.
No, that's fine.
Lead me in with the bass there.
I was just following you.
Yeah. Not bad, huh?
Okay, so what's the other one that we did then that I'm thinking about?
Probably Caravan of Fools.
Ooh.
Caravan of Fools.
That would be apropos for our show.
Yes, that was old John Prine song.
We can do all those you want to do. I love him.
He is fabulous. He just made such great stuff. Well, you know, we used to do at Angel of Montgomery. That was his.
Yeah.
And it was actually an E minor. It was E minor, A minor.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else, but okay.
I don't know what else we would have played.
I don't know.
Let's see. Not Cupcakes. Hey, Not Cupcakes. What's
What is that?
That's your CB radio.
No. Okay. Go F yourself.
Is it?
I don't have a CB radio.
CB.
It's not a CB.
That's because you're an idiot.
Okay, anyway.
No.
It's ham radio. It's different. Okay, all right. It is different, but not.
Is it? It's not that.
It's qualitatively different, but not enough to make a difference for this purposes of this. Okay, so what are we doing?
Let's do. Let's go back to an old school John Prine. Let's do.
Okay.
Angel from Montgomery.
Okay.
That's a song you're familiar with.
Yeah, I am familiar with it. I don't know if I can play it.
Oh, you can do it. It's in D.
Can you change it to Angel from Fayetteville? Is Amanda still in there?
Yeah, I can do it.
Can you?
Yep.
Amanda, you still there? Well, if she isn't, you can change it to Angel from Kentucky because Amy's in there.
Oh, yes, she is, isn't she?
Wait a minute. I don't have it.
I am on the
Wait. What key are you playing?
Yeah, D. D.
Oh, you bastard.
D is in dolphin.
D.
D is in dolphin. I can change it.
No, that's okay.
So we're gonna do it for.
You know, I wish they would have these charts in frigging 1, 4, 5. Just give me the number. I can play it in any key.
I want to know.
It would be so much easier. That's how we always did it in when we were playing jazz, man.
Let's see, more like Devil from Kentucky. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. So what's the first chord of your version?
It's going to be D.
That's a D.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
You do understand that just because it starts with a D doesn't mean that it's in D, right?
I do.
Okay.
But
just making sure.
But this one is in D.
This one is in D. You are correct. Okay.
So I am an old. All right. So let's see. So we doing a Devil from Kentucky. What was the other one I was going to do?
I don't know. Hot Stuff from Fayetteville. I don't know.
Fayetteville, okay.
Yeah. I don't think Amanda's still in there.
I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man was another. child who's grown old. Dreams of thunder, lightning was desire. This old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me a devil that flies from western Kentucky. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. I believe in this living, just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy, were nuts to look at, just a free rambling man. That was a long time ago. No matter how hard I try, the years just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Believe in this living, just a hard way to go. Pick it there, Steve. Flies in the kitchen, you hear 'em all a buzzing. Ain't done much of nothing since I woke up today. How in hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening with nothing to say? Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Believe in this living, just a hard way to go. Tag. Believe in this living, just a hard way to go. There you go.
All right.
That wasn't awful.
No, it wasn't the worst thing.
It was fun.
That's a good song.
It may have sounded terrible. But
Yeah,
it was
that's a
fun.
good song. Again, I don't think we'll get a copyright strike.
No, I think it'll be so bad. Oh, Sam Stone. We'll do that next.
What's that?
Talk Like a Hick to You. We will do Sam Stone next. That
What's
is a
Sandstone?
Sam Stone.
Do you know it?
I do. That's a John Prine classic.
Sam Stone.
Yep.
Well, he was a hard feller.
He is a world. I'm sorry, a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
Yeah, and he comes home.
Oh yeah.
And we'll work. We'll
Got
work
some
it.
shrapnel in his knee.
That means Dr. Steve's gonna have to practice.
No, this one looks pretty easy.
Sam Stone, G. Sam Stone, Sam Stone.
I have it. Okay. I have Sam Stone as that being D, so you want to do it in a different key?
No. Mine was in G. But let me check it.
That's fine.
I don't think G was quite right for me. Hang on. Sam Stone came home to his wife and family after serving in the conflict overseas. There you go. And the time that he served had shattered all his nerves and left him with shrapnel in his knees. But the morphine eased his pain, and the grass grew around his brain, and he gave him the confidence that he often lacked. With a purple heart and a monkey on his back. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes.
Whoa.
Oh,
I have D going to E minor on that.
Oh, D. I'm sorry. I got D going to G. There's
Okay.
a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes, and then to G, and then A. Jesus Christ died for nothing. D. I suppose.
Okay. My music's different than yours.
I'm sorry.
So I've got A. There's a hole in Daddy's arm.
Yeah.
Where all the money goes.
Oh, that might be the.
Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose.
That might have been the Johnny Cash version.
Okay. Oh, it could be.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's a good song. We can do that.
We can do it.
Okay. So, there's
go.
the teaser for next week.
Oh, I don't. Hold your breath. Well, you probably shouldn't hold your breath.
Let's see if anybody else has it.
Morphine ease the pain, and the grass can around the brain.
Okay, it was Colin who suggested Sam Stone, not Amy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. Sorry, Colin.
Yeah, and more nasal, no shit, and try not to be so cheerful about it. He was like, well, the morphine, he's the pain. There's no way.
It's
Hey,
not a happy
come
song.
on, everybody, sing
it's
along.
It's not a happy song.
Jesus.
Jackass. I know it.
I know, we were just checking it out.
I'll get it dialed in.
All right.
Yeah, I should be perfectly nasally today with the stupid allergies. I should be. All right, guys. Thanks a bunch. Y'all are great.
Yep.
Appreciations.
Well, thank y'all.
Appreciations.
Thank y'all for coming, and I hope you get you some good vittles tonight. And, well, I hope you don't vomit.
And whatnot.
And whatnot. And, well, we don't go in for such, but I hope you don't vomit. Because, oh, lordy, I know I can't stand to vomit. But you eat some old Omi Amos now. If she brings you possum pie, I'd recommend you steer clear from it, because you'll vomit all day and all night. And from it, and have a green apple quick step, and you'll be in that old outhouse, and that old black widow spider will bite you on the behind, and then you'll have a tale to tell. Let me tell you that. And that's a fact.
That's terrible.
All right. Well, thank y'all.
Keep playing till
The oxygen out.
Are you videoing?